let's go and jump into this one. Frankfurt Schalke. This is one that I went on the fence. I went on a limb. I said the win had to come. David Wagner's finally playing some youngsters, not by choice, by necessity. I think Keenan said last week they've got a starting 11 of injuries. I think even more than that, to be honest with you.
Don't hold back.
This team is poor. Saw a guy on Twitter, a loyal fan. If I can find this tweet, I'll give him a shout out. He had done the dirty work of going and looking at statistics from the past decade. That's 10 years. The past decade. Said this is by far the worst run of form Schalke has been in the past decade. And he thinks even further back than that. For context, folks, Schalke's a big club. They're a big club in Bayern. Seen the likes of Manuel Neuer, Leroy Sané, Kolasinac, Mesut Ozil, Huntelaar. I'm just scratching the surface. Julian Draxler. I mean, there's Rakitic. So many names that have come from this prestigious club.
Boateng.
He's not wrong. Where's the pride? Where is the pride?
In all honesty, the real pride. I mean, I'll be fair. The last two matches, I've actually been a little more impressed. I thought they've played a little bit better. I thought McKennie has played better the last two matches. He's played with more sort of passion and aggression there. But the Stambouli, that's where it is. The way he was screaming and cheering on his teammates from the stands for the last few games, that's where it is. But it can't just be him. It's got to be more people. It's got to matter to more of them. And it doesn't seem to matter.
It doesn't. And you brought up a really good point, because I'm not even talking about just the players. The players have looked. There's so many levels to this, because you're getting guys like Boujelabe, and you're getting guys like Kuduku. You're getting youngsters involved, guys that the future is so bright. And my biggest fear now is throwing them into this environment. You should have brought them in way earlier, when there's still some confidence, when the team still has aspirations. Bring them into the fold then. You're bringing them in now basically saying, hey, look, we're on fire. Can you guys come put it out? And I just feel like now, when they're not going to be successful, you're going to end up really stunning the growth of a lot of these players. It's just my 2 cents. But yeah, from a higher level perspective, I mean, you got to be demanding some kind of change. We saw Schneider come out just a few weeks ago saying, hey, David Wagner's the man. He's going to be with us. We're backing him. I know you have to give that kind of club BS, but at some point, somebody's got to take responsibility for this. Somebody's got to take responsibility. Miranda, terrible. Can't defend. Save his life. No wonder Barcelona wanted to send him off. No wonder. And you're losing Kenny, who's looked good all season. On the other side of the ball, Frankfurt. Keenan, what you think? This Frankfurt big three. Your man DeCosta getting some time now. They're looking good. I mean, we can rag on Schalke all day, but this Frankfurt side really starting to get the gears going.
Yeah, well, I mean, we touched on it at the beginning of the season, that it was going to be a learning curve. They were going to have to figure out what to do. They had a very clear game plan the previous season. They had 3 guys that they were going to play through, 4 if you count Kostic. It was sort of like a big 4, and poor guy gets left by himself. And I think they just didn't quite know what to do, where to play guys, and you're seeing guys, come into form. I mean, Andre Silva's had the most goals of anybody since the restart.
Yeah.
Kostic has been, the key man for them all year. They're able to play a 3-back and commit guys forward, which allows them to sort of rotate through a couple of guys back there. So we've seen Hasebe, Indika, Abraham, Hinteregger sort of rotate through in that 3-man back line, which allows them to play a 3-man midfield and then 2 guys out wide. Danny DaCosta, so quick, so powerful, doesn't have the delivery of Kostic, but we've seen he was able to get around guys and get into the box and deliver some crosses there. Andre Silva, we touched on, has been great. Bastos coming in as a sub has often looked like, the Bastos of old. And then, Pauly's boy Kamada, just so dangerous.
Silky smooth. I like how you brought up Bastos because that was something we've been critical of. What was going to be his role, on that side. I prefer him coming off the bench like that. I think having a big tank like that to come in late game, burst of energy, just the sheer size of him when you want to start lobbing balls into the box, it works out really well. And we've got a caller on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Got a caller in the line.
Got his face blanked out.
Funny. It's funny that this gent, suddenly appears just moments after we
What's going on?
something is going on. Hey, can you hear us, Steven?
Yeah, I can hear you. The
light's blocking
the
him.
light is blocking me. Hold on. Oh, that doesn't work either. That makes it worse.
Well, Steven works out his technical difficulties. That's all I've got there. I'm really happy for this Frankfurt side. It's tough for me to love them because it's tough for me to love Frankfurt, but I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish. Andre Silva.
Well, I think we touched on this with Berlin being a city that you want to be a success. Frankfurt, another city, a big-time city that you'd like to see as a success, being sort of the financial capital of Germany. It's a nice, big landmark city to have quality football coming out of.
The more the merrier. More the merrier. And the more the merrier on the show. Our Schalke aficionado. Steven, you said you had some things to say about Schalke. You had some things to say about Dortmund. That's right where we're at.
Fantastic.
I just finished going off. Your boy Miranda. Hot trash. He can't defend to save his life. You might as well send him back to Barcelona. But hate to put you on the spot. But do you want to dig into that? Because we're talking about it right now. Frankfurt.
See, I'm not going to go ahead and say, this whole team right now is bad. I can't just single out a single player that's like, oh, it's this person that's not doing anything. It's that person that's not doing it. It's the whole squad. Unfortunately, I didn't really catch the game because I was a little nervous about watching it, to be honest. So I don't know what Miranda did or didn't do, but from what I've seen of Miranda, at least.
Let me just cut you off real quick. I hate to rag on the youngster. Right? I guess the reason why I bring it up is because you're losing Todibo, you're losing Kenny.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he's the new Schubert right now, where it's like, oh, don't worry, we got this rando from Barcelona that's going to be our key centerpiece. I guess right now he's playing kind of fullback.
Yeah, I mean, but
not to rag on the kid, right? But it's like
there's not much. Again, I don't know if he was playing center back, which he's not used to because he's more of a right back.
No, he's playing left for the most part. He just can't defend. I mean, he looks like a winger.
Yeah, I maybe you swap him and a Chicker around and see how that plays around, because if Chicker's a much better defender. but they use Chica as like a winger, which I don't understand. More
I believe he plays
because
center back this week with K-Bot. Yeah.
yeah, I mean they kind of has to now.
Right. Yeah. And I know the injuries too. Right.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna put it all on one player or two players. The whole entire squad has been bad. And you can put that on, Wagner, you can put that on injuries, you can put that on like anybody. But my whole thing is with Schalke this year is kind of what I've been saying all along is they had that first half where they just like surprised a couple of teams that maybe they shouldn't have surprised, like Leipzig early in the year, and those kind of teams, and then they drew to Dortmund earlier in the year too. And this was like, oh, then we all thought going into that second half that Schalke was like they were right there, competing for Europe, and they come out, they play well against Gladbach, they beat Gladbach 2-0. They think, oh, well, this could be the year that we contend for Champions League again. And they thought, Wagner, like he was the guy. He was getting the team to play at another level that maybe Tedesco was having trouble getting out of the players. But now it's even worse than what Tedesco was doing. I haven't seen it, and you pointed this out earlier, but this has been historically bad, Schalke side, historically bad. It's now 14. It's a 14 winless streak right now. You have a couple of draws, but that doesn't really help the cause any. But it's just a big old mess right now, and there's not, and I don't, and I'm very heavily leaning towards Wagner's days are very numbered. I mean, you hate to throw out a first year coach like this, but when you're at a club like Schalke, who the fans, the members, the board, they're expecting Europe and Champions League Europa every year, no matter what. And they haven't been there. And obviously they were there last year because of that second place run, but I mean, were they really there? I don't know.
You're echoing what I said before you came on. Is I wanted fans that aren't familiar with this league to understand the size of Schalke. Because we look at historically Bayern and Dortmund in recent history, been those big ones.
But Schalke's right there.
Schalke's right there. It's third, right? And
I mean, and Schalke's even a bigger. If you just look at member size, Schalke's second biggest, or either second. They overtook Dortmund, I think, for second biggest in member club. Actually, I think second like worldwide in any club. I think they over because the Bundesliga, like they had like top 10 in membership.
Right, because of the 50+1 and all that.
Yeah, but Schalke is like second, like in like worldwide.
Yeah, massive club, massive players. Yeah, just all the names that have come through there, and that's what I pose the question. I'll pose it to you. Like, where's the pride at this point?
Right.
It doesn't have to be just on the players. It can also be on upper management. Like, at what point do you say, hey, because I know we can't just point blame, but when it's a whole team type thing, the manager's got to go. The manager's got to go.
And then when you look at like what the players or I think there's a Build or Sport Build article that said that there's players that there was like a sleep problem going on with the club, like they weren't like I think it was McKinney who said during the whole like lockdown or whatever, he's like he wouldn't wake up till 3 p.m. in the afternoon, like not doing anything. Like as a manager, you gotta have your players be held accountable for those kind of things. Like you can't just go off and be like, oh well, we look at what happened to Goretzka when he came back. Like look how jacked he looked. Like he was obviously not just sitting around, not doing anything.
And you saw the Hansi Flick every day. You could watch, you could tune into their trainings. they were working them. I mean, Lewandowski said he came back best shape of his life.
Yeah, I mean there's something to the whole. As a manager, you gotta manage your club even when they're not playing. Like you can't just be,
Can't be buddy.
yeah. You can't be buddy and expect to have a very a successful season. I mean, it worked during the first half. It's not gonna. It's not working now, obviously.
I'm sorry, Stevie. I know it's got to be tough. What's crazy is that I mean, even if you lose out, well, you don't want to lose out, of course. But I mean, even just the position now, it's like, well, we're still mid-table. It's not all a wash. But this run alone is just historic bad.
Yeah, it's just not scoring anything.